The long-anticipated Season 2 of The Mandalorian is finally here, and man was it worth the wait. Chapter 9, The Marshal, brought us the feel of nostalgia and a ton of Easter eggs. Now when we last left Mando and the child, they were on their way to find more Mandalorians to help them find the Baby Yoda species. Well, they are back and hot on the trail. In the opening scene, Mando is walking down a dark street with graffiti on the walls. It's interesting to see graffiti in Star Wars because if you look at it, it has a Star Wars feel or style to it. It is very intriguing. Now on the wall there might be a little hint at C-3PO right here with some stormtroopers, but I'll leave it up to you to decide. Mando hears that an informant named Gor Koresh has some information about another Mandalorian. The meeting takes place in a fight club where two Gamorreans are in a ring fighting each other. These are the same species we see in Return of the Jedi. They're the front gate bodyguards to Jabba's palace. Gor Koresh will only give Mando the information if one of the Gamorreans die in the next minute, or if he gives up his Beskar armor. Mando obviously doesn't want to give it up, and Gor Koresh and his men pull their weapons on them. We then find out that Gor Koresh actually hunts down Mandalorians to take their armor, and he lures Mando into a trap. Now Mando gives Gor Koresh one last chance, but he doesn't take it, and he activates his whistling birds. Baby Yoda quickly pushes the button to hide in his pod, and then the fight breaks out. Even though Din Djarin is outnumbered as usual, he shows that he is still more than a match with his quick and clean movements, and quickly he takes care of the thugs. Gor Koresh escapes the fight, but Mando quickly catches him and hangs him by his feet on a lamppost. Gor Koresh then tells Din that the Mandalorian he heard of was on Tatooine in Mos Pelgo. Mando walks away in cold blood, leaving Gor Koresh in the dark to be eaten by the creatures of the street. Din Djarin returns to Tatooine where Peli Motto welcomes him back when the Razor Crest lands in Docking Bay 3-5 in Mos Eisley Spaceport. Peli is overjoyed to see Baby Yoda, and Mando actually lets the droids work on the ship. He asks if she has heard of Mos Pelgo, which she has, but not in a while. Now here Peli asks R5 to pull up a map of Tatooine, and this is the same R5 we see in A New Hope because of the burn top when R2-D2 sabotaged him. Mando then asks to borrow her speeder, and then Baby Yoda and him are off. Din Djarin rides across the desert plains of Tatooine and finds his way to Mos Pelgo. As he arrives at an old rundown town with a few moisture evaporators. As he looks around, it resembles an old western town, and the locals just stare at him. Mando makes his way to the cantina where he hopes to find information. He asks the bartender if he's seen anyone who looks like him, to which he replies that the sheriff of the town does. At that moment, the marshal walks in and is wearing none other than Boba Fett's armor. The marshal then takes a bottle and asks if Mando wants to share one with him. As Mando is about to join him, the marshal takes off his helmet, and Mando then realizes he's not an actual Mandalorian, as Mandalorians after the purge do not take off their helmets in public. Now I don't know about you guys, but I was filled with excitement when I saw that armor. A lot of people have been waiting for years to see Boba return. Even though it isn't Boba, it's really cool to see his armor. The marshal introduces himself as Cobb Vanth, but Mando is actually mad that a non-Mandalorian is wearing the armor and asking for it back. Cobb Vanth refuses to give it back and the tension rises. As they are about to pull their blasters, the ground rumbles, alarms are going off, and people running for cover. We see in the distance the sand moving, while something big underneath comes through. All of a sudden, a giant crate dragon comes out of the sand like a shark and eats a bantha. While the town rebuilds, Cobb and Mando come to an agreement. If Mando helps Cobb kill the dragon, then he will give him the armor. As Din Djarin and Cobb Vanth ride to check out the crate dragon's lair, we see that Cobb has made a speeder out of a pod racer. And not just any pod racer, but Anakin's from the Phantom Menace. Now we're not sure what happened to Anakin's pod racer, but we see that one engine is still up and running. Hearing the sound of the pod racer again was thrilling. The way it sped up, and when it turned, the sound was uncanny to the ones in the Phantom Menace. This was a great Easter egg and brought a ton of nostalgia. As they continue to ride, Cobb tells Mando what happened to Mos Pelgo and how he got the armor. After the destruction of the second Death Star and the fall of the Empire, the mining collective took over Mos Pelgo and put the town into another occupation. In his escape, Cobb stole a Camtono from the mining collective that was full of silicax crystals. He wandered the desert for days until he was saved by some Jawas, where he traded the crystals for Boba Fett's armor that they found. With his new armor, Cobb was able to drive the mining collective out of the town and keep away Tusken Raiders. Now Mando and Cobb stop in a valley as they hear noises. Now this sand dog creature thing comes out, and these are the same ones we see in Attack of the Clones when Anakin kills every Tusken in that camp. Mando then greets them with a Tusken cry, and out comes some sand people. They then realize the Tuskens want the Crate Dragon dead as well, so they then travel together. Now the Mando, Cobb, and the Tuskens stake out the Crate Dragon's lair. They set up a bantha trap to lure out the beast to get a good look at it. The Tusken uses a Crate Dragon cry to awaken the beast, just like the one Obi-Wan uses in A New Hope. But funny enough, the dragon goes for the Tusken Raider rather than the bantha. The dragon lives in an abandoned Starlight pit, but Mando says the Crate Dragon ate the Starlight. Now we've seen a Crate Dragon before, but it's just a skeleton in A New Hope. And after seeing that, you can get an idea of how big that thing is. After seeing the dragon and analyzing the situation, the group agrees that they need more reinforcements to take down the dragon. Mando and Cobb ride back to Mos Pelgo to ask for help. At first, the town people are a little on edge with working with sand people, but then they see the greater good in taking out the beast, and they band together. Their plan is to lure the Krayt dragon out and hit its belly with explosives, since that's the only weak spot on the beast. They dig a trench and place the bombs beneath the sand and get ready for the attack. The townspeople have grenades ready, while the Tuskens have these massive bows to secure the beast down. The dragon comes out and all chaos ensues, but nothing seems to be effective. They keep irritating it and eventually draw it out into position. The dragon spits out burning acid and kills a lot of people, but then Cobb detonates the bomb. It's a dead hit, but the dragon's still up and moving. Now when this happened, Mando and Cobb fly into action and try to take out the beast themselves. They use their jetpacks to fly as close as they can, but after shot, nothing is working. They fly back down and regroup. Now seeing them fly around in Mandalorian armor is insanely cool. It reminds me of watching Death Watch or Night Owls in the Clone Wars, but here we get to see it in live action. With no end in sight, Mando takes the bantha strapped with bombs and lets the dragon swallow him. He then flies out, electrocuting the dragon with the Ambient Phase Pulse Blaster, that detonates the rest of the bombs that are inside the dragon. Finally, the beast goes down. As agreed, the Tuskens get to keep most of the meat and the pearl that's inside the dragon. Krayt Dragon's pearls were consecrations that could be found in the bellies of the Krayt Dragons. Those pearls were exceedingly rare and valuable. The former senator Jahar Ghassan, a notorious big game hunter, regarded a polished Krayt Dragon pearl paperweight as an ultimate trophy on Tatooine. Krayt Dragons had a very long lifespan, and during the course of their life would ingest stones to assist in digestion. The corrosive digestive fluid would break down and eventually dissolve the rocks. Rarely, a stone would contain a kyber crystal that would remain in the beast's gut, being refined over the life of the dragon, until it formed a smooth, small sphere. Because the pearls were formed from kyber, they could be used in a lightsaber. A lightsaber equipped with one of these pearls emitted a very powerful and destructive blade that emitted a howling sound when ignited. Also, after the battle, Cobb kept his word and gave Mando Boba's armor. As Mando rides into the sunset with Baby Yoda, the man watches them from a distance. He's in robes to protect him from the desert sun, and has Tusken weapons, but is not one. As he turns around, we see the actor Temuera Morrison as the episode closes. Now if you're thinking what I'm thinking, then that man is none other than Boba Fett. He looks beat up, worn down, and tough as hell. Now there could be a possibility that is Rex, as he's still alive, but I don't think so. If that is Boba, I have so many questions, like, why is he just watching? Why didn't he take back his armor a long time ago? Why is he letting Cobb use his armor? There's so much to unravel, and I hope the next episode answers a lot of them. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think will happen in the next episode. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your day, and may the Force be with you.